What is up, my dudes and that one girl's watching this video with her puppy? This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Yeah, we're just doing it all the time. You know, like an old 90s rap song. I don't know, doing it well. Let's get the other stuff out of the way. Want to save 10% on a Cardinal communicator? Check my referral link down below. Want to support me and all my do-gooderness like these cool guys here? Boom! Then you should become part of the Brew Crew. Enjoy my coffee page down below. Want to know why I'm asking you for money? Well, next to the 5,000 Amazon affiliate links down below that also go to a good cause, there is a video explaining it all, and you should check it out. So I totally forgot to do the strap on my helmet, which is totally annoying. A few of you had asked about this helmet. For those of you who don't know, this is the Arfa 91 from HJC. It's my new modular. How glasses fit in here, and if the drop-down visor works okay with them. Well, I've mentioned in past videos, I have like literally 10 to 12 pairs of glasses, all different shapes and sizes. I've gone through a couple. I've been riding this quite a bit, and the glasses fit great. This is actually the first helmet I've had where my glasses don't lock into whatever channel the helmet company had cut out for me and made my glasses kind of hover above the bridge of my nose. These are actually relaxing on the bridge of my nose like they should, not being all weird. So I dig it. So if I sound stuffed up today, it's because, well, I'm a little under the weather, but damn, it is so nice out. We had a couple days of rain to wash away all the salt, and man, I just want to get out and ride. So here I am, and here we are. The problem is, you know, a couple weeks ago, I was drowning in topics to talk about because like Harley and Indian and Buell and all that stuff, like they had all kinds of crazy stuff coming out. Right now, we're kind of in that lull, but whatever, there's always fun stuff to talk about. And this one may have been inspired by John over at Road Reality. Just recently, he had to say goodbye to his pup, and he was quite sad about that, and I get that. I've been in that position a few times. And a few is definitely way more than any amount of time you should ever have to. So I feel for them. And I don't know, maybe that kind of triggered my psyche when I was trying to think of like something to talk about today. But yeah, I realized that since I got my new dog, Albus, he has not had a woofie pie. That's right, woofie pie, not whoopie pie, woofie. For those of you who don't know what either one is, a whoopie pie is basically like, it's usually like a chocolate sort of cake, double-sided like chocolate cake with a cream filling in the middle. It's basically like a fat kid's dream, a diabetic's nightmare, and it's absolutely delicious for the 4 billion calories that each one of these little heart attacks in a bag come with. So a woofie pie is something that actually a company next to us makes for dogs, which isn't all the sugar and chocolate and, you know, just death in a bag that a whoopie pie is. And, you know, they make them for dogs and they make them much healthier. So I'm gonna go get 1 or 2 of those for my dogs because I know my dogs absolutely love these things. Well, my dog Archer does. Like I said, Albus has not discovered these yet, but he's about to. And this brought me to today's topic, which is why you should adopt and don't shop. I've heard from many people over the years that they don't like to adopt dogs, and the reasoning is they don't want to deal with somebody else's problems. Well, let's be a little realistic here. 9 times out of 10, the dog is not the problem. It is the owner that was the problem. Most dogs are, pretty much all dogs, are inherently good and want to be good and just want to be loved. They want to be loyal to you and they want to take care of you. There's really nothing wrong with adopting, and you really should adopt because, I mean, if you don't, not all these dogs make it out of the shelter, and that's pretty tragic because there are a lot of great dogs. I know this because all my dogs have been adopted. Now look, I'm not doing anything incredible here, and I'm not doing anything that anyone else couldn't do. So I'm not looking for my Superman cape or anything like that. I'm just trying to share this and get the word out. If you do want to see someone who's doing absolutely amazing things when it comes to adoption, and if you're looking for a channel to follow that races Mini Coopers on tracks and does all kinds of like car videos that are just crazy, like engine swaps and all that, I highly recommend you check out my buddy Matt over at Misfits Mutt's garage, because I'm pretty sure he has like 2,000 Chihuahuas and other mixed dogs that he has either adopted or fostered currently in his house. I'm not sure if he actually sees floor anymore. I think it's just dogs and eyes staring up at him looking for treats. He also takes care of those dogs that people would normally pass by. He has one where little guy's rear legs don't work. But that dog is full of life. He's been around for years. He's an angry little bastard, but Matt loves him to death. So does Matt's wife and everyone that meets him. And then he also has another dog that has no front legs. And that dog is living his best life. I cannot stress that enough. I see the videos and that dog is just blowing through the backyard like a kangaroo, and it's absolutely awesome. Matt is definitely a hero when it comes to adopting dogs and whatnot. Another group you can check out is Salty and Sprinkles on his channel over there. They have their riding club, which is Defenders of Animals. They do all kinds of fundraising and stuff and work with a rescue over in Texas called Three Little Bitties. Again, pit bulls are awesome, man. But here's the thing, I don't understand why people insist on getting like purebreds and all this stuff when there are so many awesome dogs just looking for a home. And they are exponentially cheaper, and they tend to have less medical issues because you don't deal with all the inbreeding and all that other crap. And hold all your comments about, oh, I found the one special breeder in the corner of the planet that has the lineage of my dog back like 8 generations. I don't care. And I also know that there's people out there that don't care for dogs at all and are probably wondering why they're watching this video. And I'm wondering how you got this far into the video without clicking out. But I will say, and I'll make this abundantly clear, there's 2 types of people in this world. People who love dogs and people who can fuck right off. Yep, I said it, I'm not taking it back, and there's no gray area. If you hate dogs, go fuck yourself. Anyway, so back to adopting. I mean, I've had so many people over my lifetime meet my dogs. You know, like I said, I've had many. And they're like, oh, you know, I would totally adopt if I could get a dog like this. You can, literally. Just go to the pound, or go to a shelter, or go to a rescue, and pick a damn dog. That's how I do it. My first dog, like my first personal dog, not my family dog, but one that like I found myself, I adopted myself, and I cared for myself. I found because I was working at an airport in Concord, New Hampshire, and we used to have a lot of the NASCAR drivers fly in, and one of the NASCAR drivers, I cannot remember his name for the life of me, brought up a litter of pups that were from like North Carolina, and they were in a kill shelter. So he brought them up here knowing that the shelter up here was a non-kill shelter and they would get the dogs adopted. I was unloading the dogs. They all came off in pairs, except for this one dog who was in a crate by himself who looked absolutely terrified. I felt so bad for him. I took him out. He was the size of my forearm. I put him in my arm and the dude fell right asleep. And I was like, this is my dog. And, you know, for 16 years, that was my dog. That was my Biffle. He was the absolute greatest dog you could ever ask for. His name was Gryffindor. If you hang out to the end of this video, that's him. That is him in the end credits. And I miss that dog every day. But, you know, with that, unfortunately, saying goodbye to him sucks. But then it also opens up room to save the next dog, to give the next dog a home, and to, you know, bring them in. So after I said goodbye to Gryffindor, and after my wife and I said goodbye to her dog Freya, we decided that there was room in the house for another dog. And that opened up our search, where we discovered Albus. Albus is a goofball. And before Albus, we actually got Archer. Now, normally we're a 2-dog house, but we happened to see a dog on Facebook where we're like, this dog looks awesome, we need to go get him. And this goes back to just adopting. Like, jump into that pool, take that chance. Like, if you see my dog Archer, like, I don't even know what kind of dog this is. I have had so many guesses from so many people. My vet has like 100 different ideas. Everyone that met him has had 100 different ideas. When we saw pictures of him initially, when we went to adopt him, we thought he was going to be bigger. We thought he was going to be like a bully breed. And then we got to the house and this little stumpy thing comes running out, and we were like, yep, still got to have this dog. And ended up taking him home. That's how we got Archer. And it was just crazy. And when we went to meet Albus, originally Archer was not a fan of Albus. Even now he still kind of looks at him and he's like, why are you in my house again? But for the most part, they've become fast friends. With Albus though, we brought Archer to meet him in a common sort of meeting ground, and Archer was not having it. He definitely snapped at him a few times. It just looked like it wasn't going to be a match. But I fell in love with Albus instantly. So I'm like, I'd really like to try this again. I know my wife gets a little nervous around like situations like that, and I know it rubs off on the dogs. Like, we kind of had that same issue with Freya. So the next day I had the foster come over the house with Albus to give it another shot. I popped him in the yard with Archer. It took a little bit of time, but then Archer started warming up to him and they started running around and playing, and the rest is history. We now have 2 dogs and we've rescued another dog. And with Albus, apparently he was kind of sitting there waiting for a while. He had been in the foster for over a month. He was brought up from Arkansas. When he was down in Arkansas, he was in a foster for a while, and they couldn't get him adopted. And it's probably because he looks like a bully breed. And quite honestly, you know, bully breeds do not get a fair shake when it comes to adoptions. A lot of people will avoid them altogether because of all the stereotypes and stigmas that come with them. Quite honestly, bully breeds are great dogs. And I've personally come to the point where it's like, I'll actually look for bully breeds first because I know what they're up against. And I want to make sure that I can take care of at least that one, at least that next one, you know, so on and so forth. So that's kind of where I am with the bully breeds. And honestly, if you're adopting a dog and you've heard all these like horror stories and stuff like that, disregard. Seriously, bully breeds are such lovable little goofballs, and they just want you to be there to love them and take care of them like any other dog would. And this goes back to the whole adopt, don't shop. Seriously, you don't need to buy your dog. And again, I've heard the people that are like, well, I don't want somebody else's problems. And I've also seen people that adopt dogs, bring them back, get another dog, bring them back, get another dog, treating them like they're trading cards. And to me, that's such a dick move. It really is. I've seen people bring back dogs because they'll have something like, oh, my kid was kicking the dog and the dog snapped at him. You know what? Instead of taking that dog's home in safety and security and life away from it, why don't you treat your little child or teach your little child to stop being such a shitty human being? Maybe that's the lesson that needs to be learned here. Not the dog getting punished because you have raised such a horrible child and you have refused to discipline them. That seems like the better approach here. But for some reason, parents don't seem to think this way, and it's kind of sad. And it's really sad for that dog that thought that it finally had a home and, you know, didn't have to go to sleep in a concrete box again, waiting for someone to give him a shot. But of course, too, if that's the standard of measurement that someone's using to decide if the dog is good or not, maybe that dog is better off not in that person's house. Whoa, check it out, a DeLorean. It's awesome. Anyway, I just want to share this because I'm sure some of you are probably getting to that point where you're thinking about adding a dog to your family, or you know what, I'm not a big cat fan, but I'm sure a lot of you are. Cats, everything else, like I've driven by over in like New Hampshire, the Mass New Hampshire line, there's a guinea pig sanctuary. I mean, basically every animal out there, there's a shelter for them, and there's animals waiting to have someone care for them, take them home, love them, and give them the life they deserve. And I really hope that, you know, if you're looking to add that pet to your family, that you take that into consideration and, you know, maybe go that route instead of going to a pet store, going to a breeder, going to crap like that. Like, give those animals that didn't have a fair shot the first time a fair shot. That's just the much cooler thing to do. Trust me, that is the much cooler thing to do. All right, let's get those woofy pies. I actually drove by the place just so I could finish my train of thought, and now we're going back to it.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, guys, before I sign off, let's cut over to two very happy dogs having some woofy pies.
This is Archer, and this is Albus. And that is Albus's first woofy pie.
All right, guys, that's what I have for you today. So in the comments, did you adopt or did you shop? How many dogs you got? And if you're not a dog lover, why have you not fucked off yet? just out of curiosity. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, share this video with friends, share it with family, share it with the one dude you know who's not a dog lover, and then tell him to fuck off. He loves this stuff, trust me. I'll see you all on the flip side.